I share my story because I am so called to do so. God has pushed me to say, Alex, you did not go through all of these trials for nothing. You did not go through all of these trials for nothing. Your story matters. Who you are matters. God is trying to get a message across to you, and only you are going to uniquely know for your situation what it is. So let me explain to you why it doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. If I didn't go through the level of suffering and pain and like confusion and isolation, all right? Because a lot of you will be isolated when you're spiritually awakening, okay? And this is necessary. So if you guys are not really ready for the truth, like maybe click off the video, because when you're going through a spiritual awakening, you really feel alone a lot of the times. Like you lose old friends, like, you know, and again, you're shifting, you're moving, you're vibrating into something new. And a lot of the times, all those things from your past are going to kind of fall away. I left my house at 18. I went through a really rough childhood, and I just couldn't do it anymore. There's a history of mental health in my family. My mom was an orphan, so me and her just really didn't hit it off. You know, we have a better relationship now as I grew up. I left my house with literally nothing but a suitcase, and I lived with my boyfriend at the time. The next 5 or 6 years, I learned how to be human again. This household was my first time of having family dinners, celebrating holidays. Yeah, on any type of pity. Like, this is so you guys can understand where I've come from. It doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. God has a plan for your life, and God is really like the loving father, okay? Saturn is the ruler of time, is the father of time. God will teach you these lessons of time. If you don't learn them the first time, you will learn them another time, and you will keep having to learn these lessons. So when you're spiritually awakening, that's why sometimes you feel isolated. You feel like nobody's understanding what you're going through. In my life, I would be like, why me? Like, why is my sister disabled? Why did my father never stay around? Why did all these like past things that I went through, childhood trauma, you know, I ask God, like, why me? Some of you have been on your hands and knees asking God, why? Why me? Why this? But what I want you to understand and just take from this video is God has a plan. And I know it feels so rough when you're in the moment. Because when I was in the moment of going through toxic relationships, when I was in the moment of almost losing my life through my own poor decisions, through having no guidance, I kid you not, guys, I came so close so many times. Not through taking my own life, but of just some poor decisions and being around different people that were not of my benefit. And I know that now because God has blessed me with the spiritual awakening, like to the point where I see through everything, like, and everyone. And that creates a different level of awareness where you are very, here comes Saturn again. You are very responsible for everything that you do. That mom that took me in at 18 and basically became my adopted mom for the next couple years, taught me how to have family dinners, taught me how to celebrate Christmas, what it feels like to get presents on Christmas, just generally showed me love when she didn't have to. She wasn't my mother, she was my boyfriend's mom. But she did. And would you know, she's an atheist. She doesn't believe in God. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if I would have cultivated that feeling that love is possible from a mom, from a dad, from a family. I wouldn't have known what that felt like to have that love, right? Which is then reflected in the love that God shows us. God gave me the gift to sit in front of this camera and just be able to talk about my experiences, because I've had enough of them where I know if I share this with someone, maybe something will click in them, that they will understand something that I don't know, but that I know I am being called to talk about. Does that make sense? It's so crazy. She's an atheist. She doesn't believe in God, but what she doesn't know is that God put her exactly where she needed to be in my life for me to know God better, for me to know myself better. Our brain cannot comprehend, all right? That's why you give it to God. You know that saying, you truly do give it to God for this reason. You cannot comprehend, you cannot do and play all the little pieces. You are not the puppet master, darling, okay? God is up there and he is a kind puppet master, and he moves all the pieces. She moves all the pieces, all right? Doesn't have to be he, whatever you believe in. The universe moves all the pieces. Quantum physics and the law of energy and the law of attraction moves all the pieces. You understand? You're getting it? All of that is one. We're all one. So even though she was an atheist, she was so pivotal on my spiritual journey of me healing a lot of deep childhood wounds. Those childhood wounds run really deep for a lot of us. That's why I got into hypnotherapy, because I'm just so interested in the human psyche. I'm always taking spiritual development classes, and I decided I wanted to learn hypnotherapy because I really wanted to use this for not only me, but I have an interest in children with intellectual disabilities. And I met a hypnotherapist, and he talked about how it helps those kids. But I don't want to really get off topic. If you guys do want to hear more about that, about hypnotherapy, comment hypno down below. God has a plan for you, guys. That's the whole message. God has a plan for you, all right? He does. And even though it feels so freaking rough and you're just like, what is happening? Trust that it's happening for a reason. Be strong, rise above it, and do not let the illusion get to you, okay? God put you here because you are a master manifester. You are able to handle and do and overcome every challenge, okay? Rise above it like a phoenix. I love you guys.